Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Eagles on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Wentz to throw. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. A first down carry here for Johnson. Room here to run. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. And Sturgis able to knock it through. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too. And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've absorbed their lessons. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 9 there. They still need 6 more now on 3rd down. On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Second and goal from the 6 this time. He'll get it up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field
despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And Sturgis able to knock it through, and that will make this now an 18-point ball game. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught,
he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They go to Johnson again. Broken tackle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. On the tackle there, Natrell Jamerson out of Wisconsin. The busy night continues for Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now back to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
You give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
To throw, it's Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd down and 12. Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And taken at the 46. This offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
All right, here we go.
Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. At this stage of the game, with a score. Huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is. The things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
On 3rd down, Johnson spinning away. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Come on.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And an alley to run. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. He's going to get it running right, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's complete to Adams. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. On second down, here's Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He's going to look deep. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And now running right through it. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Facing this 4th quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Here's Johnson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now running running right through it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to work his way down to the 16. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you'll only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the 1st down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Johnson with a burst, a 1st down and more. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Point after now from Sturgis. Sturgis for the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And Myers able to knock it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Hey. 4 down.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys, All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Arrowhead. Returnable here for Davis. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Monday night.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Hey, 7:34.
Carr to throw on second down. And near